our modern everyday living. We're studying, of course, from the book of Proverbs, and tomorrow we're going to be having a study in values. You know, back during World War II, a word surely came to the front in America. That word was priority. I'd heard it very little until the government began putting top priorities and a little less priority on the things that were the most important to the war effort. We're going to be studying something of this same nature tomorrow morning in Sunday school. However, we'll be studying about spiritual priorities. Priorities on the things that we should count the highest. And of course, spirituality is the highest thing that we can strive for in the true sense of the word. I hope you'll be there to hear what your teacher has to say about this study in values, and I know you'll receive a blessing from it. And don't leave after Sunday school. Stay for the worship service and listen to your pastor break the bread of life. We're going to ask our Crossroads Quartet to come around and sing our hymn of the evening, one that we have so many requests for. It's been some time since it was on the program, and I'm personally glad that so many of you requested it because it's one of my favorites. The Crossroads Quartet to sing I'm Winging My Way Back Home. Down deep in my soul, a melody rings, I'm winging my way, back home. A sinner is saved, my spirit now sings, I'm winging my way, back home.
I'm climbing each day,
Every day,
since Jesus is mine.
truly mine,
I travel the road
narrow road
to glory
to
divine.
glory divine. The way is called straight, that enters the gate, I'm winging my way, back home. A wonderful time is waiting ahead, I'm winging my way, back home. I mean to be there, from sin I have fled, I'm winging my way, back home.
I'm climbing each day,
Every day,
since Jesus is mine.
truly mine,
I travel the road
narrow road
to glory
to
divine.
glory divine. The way is called straight, that enters the gate, I'm winging my way, back home. Real fine there, fellas. Thank you a lot. You know, we tell you from time to time that you'll find a lot of the Crossroads Quartet records on MGM. If you'd like to have some of them to play in your own home, we hope that you'll drop by your favorite record shop, no matter where that may be, and pick them up. Also, you'll find Arthur Smith's novelty songs and instrumentals on MGM records. Well, here's a boy that's just really wanting to get up here to this microphone to show off his stuff playing a 5-string banjo, and we haven't had a solo as yet. And here's one, incidentally, this is Don Reno's own composition. You know, you name a lot of songs after favorite spots of yours. Well, Charlotte is certainly a favorite spot because that's where our little Carolina Hayride originates every Saturday night, and you folks are welcome to drop in anytime you're in our part of the country. We'll maybe have Don Reno play this song for you in person. It's one that he calls The Charlotte Breakdown.
Oh, me, we have a lot of fun down here every Saturday night in the hayloft. And when we put on our Carolina hayrides, everybody seems to have a good time. Jokes get cracked around here and there. But you know, it's a funny thing about jokes. Sometimes they seem funny and sometimes they don't. It all depends on how you feel. You know what I mean. Some days you'll wake up feeling bright and happy and wide awake. You could laugh at most anything. And then other days the world just seems kind of gloomy. You can't see the bright side at all due to the need for a laxative. Well, when that happens, let the trio tell you what to do.
Hey, pal, take Sal Salapatica. It's speedy as 1, 2, 3, and gentle as it can be. Hey, pal, take Sal Salapatica.
All right, friends, let me ask you to do this, and you'll be a lot happier for it, and you'll feel a lot better. Take Sal Hepatica, the sparkling laxative that gives you speedy, gentle relief. Take it before breakfast, and you'll get that gentle relief usually within an hour, before your day really gets started wrong.
But now, Arthur, suppose that low-down feeling comes on later in the day. You could just take Salapatica about a half hour before supper time, and it'll usually bring you gentle, speedy relief before it's time to turn in.
You're right, Bill. Friends, you don't have to tolerate the hours of discomfort until ordinary, slow-acting laxatives bring relief. And you don't have to trust to harsh laxatives, because you know that you can count on Sal Hepatica to act quickly and gently.
Salapatica is antacid, too. It sweetens a sour stomach. So remember, folks, take Sal Hepatica when you need a laxative.
Sal Hepatica for gentle, for speedy relief. Thank you very much. A good message there from Arthur Smith and Bill Mack. Well, a couple of the favorites here on the Carolina Hayride we certainly don't want to get away without doing their song this evening are the Log Cabin Boys. And here's one that I think you're going to enjoy. A real true-to-life thing is the boys sing Rushing Around.
You're rushing around today, you're rushing around today. How will you be at 63 from rushing around today? Now the first thing in the morning, you rush right out of bed. You hurry through your breakfast like you're crazy in the head. Fly down to the bus stop as fast as you can go. How you ever get to work alive, I'll declare I'll never know. You're rushing around today, you're rushing around today. How will you be at 63 from rushing around today? Now you take off like a rocket ship to get your lunchtime snack. Love your food like a doggone fool and then you fly right back. Hurry up through your work all day, dash right out the front door. Then you go up your supper in a minute flat so you can rush some more. You're rushing around today, you're rushing around today. How will you be at 63 from rushing around today?
The Log Cabin Boys always come through on Saturday night with a real fine number. You know, I want to especially thank the folks that were so kind to us from such a long way off this week. We heard from them all the way down in Florida and up in Maine, and we heard from some folks from Little Rock and even from St. Joseph, Missouri. That's right, and we certainly want to thank them for their cards and for their letters and the nice things they said about the program. So many of them said we always look forward to the last 5 minutes of the program, and we know we're going to have a thought from Sonny that's going to be worthwhile, and we certainly have that tonight. Sonny to recite about a condition that we all ought to get in a lot more often, alone with my conscience. I sat alone with my conscience in a place where time had ceased, and we talked of my former living in the land where the years increased. And I felt I should have to answer the question it put to me, and to face the answer and question throughout all eternity. The ghost of forgotten action seemed floating before my sight, and things that I thought were dead things were alive with a terrible might. And the vision of all my past life was an awful thing to face, alone with my conscience sitting in that solemnly silent place. And I thought of a faraway warning of a sorrow that was to be mine, in a land that then was the future, but now is the present time. And I thought of my former thinking of the judgment day to be, but sitting alone with my conscience seemed judgment enough for me. And I wondered if there was a future in this land beyond the grave, but no one gave me an answer, and no one came to say. Then I felt that the future was present, and the present would never go by, for it was but the thought of my past life, growing into eternity. Then I awoke from my timely dreaming, and the vision passed away, and I knew that the far-off seeming was a warning of yesterday. And I pray that I may never forget it in this land before the grave, that I may not cry in the future and no one come to save. And so I have learned a lesson which I ought to have known before, and which, though I learned it dreaming, I hope to forget no more. So I sit alone with my conscience in the place where the years increase, and I try to remember the future in the land where time will cease. And I know of the future judgment, how dreadful soever it be, that to sit alone with my conscience will be judgment enough for me. That's a wonderful thought, Sonny. Sonny, that's a real fine thought, and I know you'll have a lot of requests to do for a repeat performance of that on the Carolina Hayride.
Well, thank you, Arthur, and we hope that everybody listening tonight will be back with us next Saturday night at the same time and over the very same station. Till that time, you'd better say,
Ralph, hit the theme song. It's time to go off.
well, we hope you've enjoyed this transcribed Carolina Hayride broadcast with Arthur Smith and all the Cracker Jacks. Brought to you by Bristol Myers Company, makers of Sparkling Sal Hepatica, the antacid laxatives, and new Mom Mist. Remember, the whole gang will be right here in the hayloft come next Saturday night, and we'd love to have you join us. Till that time, Bill Mack saying so long, everybody.